Hello and welcome to BrookesTV. I'm Ep06 Davidson.
And I'm Dan Jordan. Coming up in this week's episode,
we see how the organisation Keen helps children with special needs.
what are these people doing in the woods?
And will there be bloodshed on the ice rink?
But first, a date has been set for another funding cut in Oxfordshire.
On the 31st of March, the council bid to save £500,000 by reducing funds to adult social care.
Cecily Kirtland runs a support group for over 50s. She feels very passionately about the cuts happening to adult social care.
Cut. Never mind about individual people. Never mind about the repercussions and never mind about the long-term damage that's going to be done and the isolation that's going to be caused. Council aren't prepared to look longer term and see, well, if you're not going to provide something at local level in the community, then, you know, you're not going to recognise that that person maybe is not eating properly, or that person is not being able to access, you know, the services that they need, that they're having frequent falls. That means they're going into hospital more, or, you know, that their health needs are changing, or they're developing dementia, or, you know, and they need to be cared for in their own environment, not in a hospital. You know, lots of things can be done in the home with home care and with home support and with being in a community that can't be done in a hospital where it's a very isolating experience.
Over 2,000 of Oxfordshire's most vulnerable elderly people will experience the loss of important services provided to them by the Oxford City Council. According to Ian Hudspeth, the leader of the council, cuts are needed because planned reductions in government funding were much worse than feared. Adult social care will be one of the most affected, as support for carers, health and wellbeing centres and bus subsidies are all facing the chop.
What do we do with our elderly if we haven't got financial support? Who is that lean on to? We've already got parents looking after their children financially till they're 25. If they leave home and come back, they're still financially responsible. Are they trying to say that family members are now meant to be taking back their older generation and looking after them? Do we have to migrate our poor families where they've been settled to where we are now? It's very difficult. So I think it's, you know, I think the question would be, where do we put these people that have no out? The care situation for home care is it's very timed already. You're signing in, you're signing out, you're picking up a telephone and giving a number to let people know that you're actually there. So they're already being reduced away from what it used to be for home care.
By cutting the care, you're damaging, really damaging, older people. People don't feel valued, you know, and you know, it just is. It's destructive. It really is.
To get value for money, the personal care budgets will be squeezed by £3 million. This is Josie Smart for BrookesTV.
The cuts aren't just affecting the elderly, as many children's centres are also having to close.
However, a group of volunteers in Oxford are managing to keep their social and sporting group for children with special needs open.
Enjoying fun is a human right for everyone, including children and adults with special needs. In Oxford, there are currently around 200 people with special needs using the service from Keen Oxford. We spoke to Paul Harding, Keen Oxford coordinator, about their ethos and their service target.
Part of it is to get people active. We were originally sports focused, so we started with a tennis club, and then after that we started introducing more social things and this drama and craft session that we have today. And I think the main thing is just providing an environment for people where they feel that they are included in that, and they have a place that is just theirs to go to and have fun with all their friends and sort of forget about everything else. But yeah, basically we try to include everyone. And we don't ask too many questions about what it is. If they seem to benefit from and enjoy the sessions, then we're happy to take them.
On this day, the volunteers design a free special Easter session for the younger children with special needs to achieve the keen purpose of making it possible for them to have fun in there. So what are the benefits for the children joining the activities?
First and foremost, it's a really fun, safe environment where they can enjoy lots of different activities like drama, sports, arts and crafts, and have fun with other athletes while they're doing that, and also the volunteers who come to support them.
Each week, Keen Oxford provides free social, sporting and recreational activities, offering more opportunity for the people with special needs to join. However, does Oxford City Council provide them enough support?
Yeah, Oxford City Council provides various initiatives. They have funded us in the past. But recently councils have had a lot of cuts to their funding, and so we ourselves rely heavily on donations from individuals and organisations. But, councils obviously have a lot of other stuff to think about as well. So it's not something that I can place solely on the heads of the council.
Obviously, to continue providing free and fun activities for people with special needs, they may need more support in the future. If you are interested to know more about Keen Oxford, go to www.keenoxford.org. This is Carla Evans for BrookesTV.
Elsewhere, another group of volunteers in Oxford are spending their free time working outdoors.
And they're always looking for more volunteers if you like nature and conservation.
Every weekend, there is a voluntary organization called Oxford Conservation Volunteers, OCV, that has been carrying out practical work conserving the wildlife and traditional landscape in Oxford. This time, they were working in trap grounds. We spoke to Phil Hunter, task programmer, to ask him about what they do and what kind of impact they had over the years.
From a wasteland back into a nature reserve. We've done all sorts of things here. There's a bird hide that we've built here, and we help them with the boardwalk that we're standing on now. So lots of different things, and we've been coming here for about, on and off for about 10 years now. So we come to like the place because we work here so much, and it's always good to come back and see things improving, over the years.
OCV organizes the volunteers and undertakes a wide variety of nature conservation projects, including tree planting, fence building, and pond maintenance. So why are the volunteers willing to spend their weekends with OCV?
I find it's a good remedy for working in front of a computer screen each week. I come out, I get into the nature, I do some digging, I do some hard graft, come out on a lovely day that's chucking it down with rain. I find it great. It just really does, good things to my soul and my heart.
Just look around you, it's absolutely amazing how this is in the middle of Oxford and it needs preserving. If we don't preserve it now, it won't be here for future generations. And actually I just love being out in the countryside and getting covered in mud, really.
In order to continue a large variety of nature conservation works, does OCV have enough volunteers to do the task every weekend?
We always need new volunteers. So we can't, for some jobs we can't have enough. And it's always better to have more than less. You don't need any particular skills. We'll always explain the tools that we use. Anybody that wants to come, that can come, is welcome.
Since 1977, OCV has completed a large variety of nature conservation projects and continues to receive specialist training in many of the more skilled management tasks. However, they need more volunteers to join and preserve the environment together. This is Carla Evans for BrookesTV.
Retinoblastoma is an aggressive eye cancer affecting babies and young children.
It kills over 7,000 youngsters each year and blinds many more.
Abby White is a survivor of retinoblastoma, otherwise known as eye cancer. She is visually impaired.
I am a co-founder and chief executive of World Eye Cancer Hope.
Retinoblastoma is a cancer that starts in the retina, the very back part of the eye. It is the most common type of eye cancer in children. The 29th of September 2004, Abby received an email from a mother in Africa explaining that her daughter, Rati, of a 2.5-year-old, had her eye removed for eye cancer.
I really felt that I needed to do something practical before I could say, I'm praying. So I started a child in front of me who needed help.
The story began when Daisy, a 5-year-old girl battling with eye cancer. Her parents established the Daisy Fund to raise funds for her treatment. The leftover funds were available to help Ratty.
So they donated a significant amount, and at that point we set up Daisy's Eye Cancer Fund, and ultimately we rebranded last September, to become World Eye Cancer Hope. So that's really where the organisation began, because of Ratty and Daisy.
Ratty responded very well to therapy for a year, but the cancer returned. She died on the 21st of August 2006. Abby says Ratty set us a challenge to help children like her. Abby set up a website where families can find information and resources about eye cancer.
I just wanted to cut down the amount of time that families were spending online trawling the internet for valuable information.
Between 500 and 600 cases of eye cancer are diagnosed in the UK each year.
The key early sign of eye cancer in children is a white glow in the eye, where you would normally take a photograph and you would see a red reflex, and that red reflex is just the normal vascular layers of the retina that you're seeing through the expanded pupil. But if there's a tumour growing on the retina, the flashlight can't be absorbed by the retina, so it bounces back out of the eye as a white glow. And that, if that is appearing in multiple photographs of very young children, it might be a normal reflex, but the most serious medical possibility, is eye cancer, and it's really important that parents and people who work with young children and photographers know that.
Remember, it only takes you 2 minutes to take a picture and to see if your child has eye cancer. If you want to know more about this, please check the website, weseehope.org. I'm Mara Martin for BrookesTV.
That's it for this half, but still to come.
What weird and wonderful sounds could be heard at Oxford last week?
And what surprises await us in this game?
Welcome back. We're joined today by Elena Saldana, the Vice President for Societies. She has been elected as the Student Union President for the coming year. Thanks for joining us.
Hi.
So for your manifesto, it consisted of 3 main points. The third was about collaboration with the uni. Would you mind just elaborating more about that?
So, for example, this year I've been leading a project called One World Week, which has basically been the International Student Advice Centre and me kind of like representing the union together with 2 part-time officers. And it's basically, I think, when we collaborate with the university on projects like that, for example, to promote diversity or to increase awareness about like well-being and stuff, I think it works much better and we engage students better and they're kind of like more willing to engage with us. And I think it's about trying to, do things together that students like doing and so on, that is like what we should be doing in the future, and yeah.
So would you say that the current relation with the uni is not strong enough?
I think it's quite good, but definitely there are places to improve that relationship, and it's not so much that the relationship is bad, it's just that there is still so much room for collaborations. For example, there's the LGBT plus month that came up, there's Wellbeing Week, there's like loads of things that the university does that I think the union can definitely contribute to it, societies and everything, and I think we would get much more out of it if we had more student involvement and if we worked together and things like that.
So we've heard from a member of staff within the union, they believe that the bridge between the union and the uni is strong. So shouldn't you be looking at trying to work with the students and collaborate with them more this year?
Well, definitely. I think that is the main objective of the union, to collaborate with students. So yeah, definitely. I mean, I think being like the vice president for societies, that has definitely been like my role. And yeah, I mean, I love doing that and I think we do it and we try our best to do it as well.
So is there any kind of specific ways you're going to be trying to interact with the students then?
Well, I can tell you, like, particularly from societies, I mean, obviously we go to their events, we see what they're doing, we have like a really close relationship with them. I mean, our role is to support students and to make sure that their student experience is like the best that they can have like at university. So other ways. I don't know. I definitely think that during, like, in our communication strategy, we need to be in the places where students are. So, for example, going to lectures or actually going and talking to them in person more. I think that's definitely one of the things that I really would like to work on this year.
And so you said, it's really important that students have a good experience with it.
Yeah.
But the Oxford Brookes Union was voted the second worst student union in the country 3 years ago, only just beating Oxford Union. So have you got anything to say on that? How are you going to improve that?
Well, to be honest, I engaged with the union because I was president of my society in the third year. I didn't really know what the union did. I didn't really want to engage with them. But when I became an officer, I actually understood that the union is actually really good, and that even though everyone might not think we do a great job, in terms of making life changes to individual students, I think we do quite a good job. So, for example, the advice center or the safety bus or even societies, like, I can tell you that every single day I see how, like, students engage with us and how much, like, I don't know, better in a way their lives are in that way. I mean, it's the choice of students to engage with us, and I do think that the union has to play a role in trying to communicate the services that are available to students to make sure that they want to use them. So yeah, sure, we do need to improve on those areas, but I do think that it's just kind of communicating to students the value that they can get out of us. That is where the gap is. Yeah.
In one quick sentence, can you tell us what you want to say to students for your next year?
I actually think that the main thing that I want to do is to make sure that students know what the union does, that they don't think the union is really bad because they actually don't use the services. I do think that the union is really good and that we can give a lot to the student experience. So yeah, engage with us.
Thank you very much. This year the Oxford Town Hall has had its 27th annual celebration of International Women's Day. The event took place over 11 days all across Oxford.
International Women's Day is celebrated each year on the 8th of March. It symbolizes love and appreciation towards women and serves to highlight their political, economic and social achievements. Oxford has held its own International Women's Day festival, and I was interested to find out more about it.
The festival's been running for 27 years. This is the 27th year. We have a week to 2 weeks of fun celebrating women's achievements, but also thinking about the main issues that are still impacting on women today. So it's a lot of awareness raising, and we know we've still got a long way to go really to get women to where they should be.
The main event of the festival takes place in Oxford Town Hall alongside a variety of other events in many venues throughout Oxford City and the wider county.
I'm just really lucky to have an International Women's Day festival just down the road. There's also speakers that I really respect, women that do work in anti-austerity work and women that have taken like environmental action and been to prison for 6 months for doing so.
They put my husband into prison when I was pregnant. I've been in prison twice as well, so I forced him to leave. All the time I would like to ask people, when something has happened suddenly and then somebody just came and said, just leave your house now and you're not going to come back anymore, that's going to be for good. What kind of thing you can pick up suddenly from your house? But you can't think anything to pick up. So I pick up only my daughter and I just do a run.
They very, very infrequently look at gender issues. And if I had to think about one of the biggest problems for economic sustainability across Europe, it would be the very small number of women compared to men who are covered by pension.
Women throughout history have fought for where we are today, and we need to fight for successive generations, our children, our grandchildren, to improve the situation for them, because there's a long way to go yet. I mean, here we are in this beautiful town hall, and there on the wall behind us is a picture of the rape of the Sabine women. Things like that still go on.
Each year, thousands of women from across the county gather to raise awareness of local, national and international issues. They offer support for those who are campaigning to improve women's lives in Oxford and beyond. For Oxford BrookesTV, Carla Evans.
Now in this next story, it may sound like there's something wrong with your speakers.
However, it's just the sound of artists expressing themselves through sonic art.
Each year, Oxford is filled with interesting sounds for the 3 days Audiograft Festival.
Audiograft, we started 9 years ago. This is our 9th year of Audiograft, and I started initially as a sort of just a concert, which then developed into a bigger and bigger event. So it's become a festival of contemporary composition and also sort of sonic art. So it's a kind of a mixture of concerts. Every concert's quite different in style, sound installations, talks with artists, and also the kind of social events that go around the concerts as well.
Some people call it noise, others call it music, but it all falls under the genre of sonic art. What is sonic art?
It's anything you want it to be, really. It's organised sound. So it's playing around with sound, making weird sounds in the studio. That's what I like to think about it. So you can do anything you want, really, and just develop interesting structures of sounds and interesting soundscapes.
Next time you're out and about, have a listen. You might discover sounds you will have missed before.
Now for sports.
Oxford City Stars play against Invicta Dynamos 4 times a year. The last 4 games have resulted in 2 wins to Oxford, 1 loss and 1 draw. But what will be the result of this game?
Last week, Oxford City Stars played against Invicta Dynamos to secure a place in the playoffs. The first goal of the match was scored by Ondrej Pekarik for Invicta Dynamos. Next, Callum Fowler brought it back to a tie for Oxford before the end of the first period. Things picked up in the second period with a goal from Harrison Lillis, bringing Invicta Dynamos to a lead once again. A fight kicked off due to Joshua Stephen Condren trying to free the puck from the goaltender after it had been saved. This resulted in Shane Moore landing himself in the penalty box for 4 minutes for roughing. Once the game had got back into play, Erica Zolupa scored, pushing Invicta Dynamo's lead over Oxford to 3-1. Things drastically changed as Oxford found their pace. Goals scored by Ondrej Pekarik, Dax Hedges, Theo Bondock, and in the third period, Boris Riziki, Michael Peter Willock, and Benjamin William Early Newman. This brought the lead to 7-4 to Oxford. What a comeback. This goal was followed by a fight due to tensions rising between 2 opposing players. Jason William Aiken was given 2 minutes in the penalty box following the dispute. Invicta Dynamos gave a great effort to bring back the lead after 2 goals from Aaron Strawson, but this wasn't enough. The match finished 7-6 to Oxford. Both teams played a great game and showed good sportsmanship as they shook hands at the end, squashing any tensions. We spoke to Oxford's captain, Darren Elliott, about the match and how it'll help them in the playoffs.
We knew it was going to be a tough one going into that game, but no, we're really happy with that. Beating those tonight, we've secured 5th spot, so that takes a little bit of pressure off of us. And so we've got an away game tomorrow at Solent and Gosport, so we can just sort of not ease off, but we know we've secured 5th spot for the playoffs and we know who we're playing now, so it's good.
Will Oxford bring their A game to the playoffs? Jonathan Hurd, BrookesTV.
And that's it for this week. Remember, you can watch all of our previous episodes on the Oxford Brookes YouTube channel.
And if you want, you can get in touch by email at brookes.ac.uk. See you soon.
Goodbye.